Hello. So I wanted to talk about because I get asked a lot about why am I still grinding on this character? Why am I still grinding, maplestory? So I already did an update video explaining, life kind of went back to normal for me after the 300 grind. I'm not playing the game as much. I'm not really, grinding as hard as I possibly could be these days. But I would say that I'm grinding the game more than I really anticipated or really thought I would be. And well, quite honestly, for a pretty decent reason. Right now in Interactive World, farming at Carcion, which is the level 285 zone, is extremely good. Extremely good for character progression and extremely good Meso per hour. So under normal circumstances, I mostly just farm with a wealth potion, and I'm gaining about 370 to 380 million pure Meso from the ground, and then I get between 60 to 70 fragments, probably like 60 fragments on average an hour, right? Because I don't really pay that much attention when farming. So if you take into consideration the price of fragments in Aurora right now, they're selling like really fast between 9 to 10 mil the past couple of days. And if you can get 60 of them per hour at 9 mil each, you're looking at 540 mil plus like the 370 mil pure pickups. I'm getting 910 million Meso an hour farming at Carcion. And on top of that, with Soul Janus and how Soul Janus works, like the farming is very passive. I can just sit here and attack every couple of seconds, replace my Soul Urda or my Urda Fountain and Bishop Fountain every 1 minute, and then Soul Janus every 2 minutes. It's very easy, very passive, doesn't really require much effort at all. And then there's the point that gets brought up a lot as well. Why don't I train other characters for Legion and gain Meso, etc., etc. Well, to explain, it's like it goes like this, right? First off, to get optimal Meso rates, you have to farm at Carcion. Carcion has the highest level monsters in the game, therefore drop the highest Meso loot. And being able to farm at Carcion effectively and efficiently is not easy. You have to be flipping strong as heck to farm here and be able to one-shot the mobs with all the summons that make the farming so good. In farming gear, I sit at 246 million combat power, 76k stat, and I still have to use Infinity for my Bishop Fountain to be one-shotting. And even without Infinity, my Urda Fountain is barely one-shotting. So it would take a lot of time, effort, and resources to put into another character to farm on, this map or Carcion in general. And all that, like Meso and resources, I'd rather just throw into trying to min-max this character, because bossing mules aren't really that effective. If you can farm 900 mil Meso an hour, and the bosses up to like normal Lotus and Damien, where it's more worth, investing into because the barrier of entry is low for those bosses, is 200 mil. It's barely worth your time running those bosses. So, like, it just doesn't really make too much sense. And the Legion member bonuses, the Legion member bonuses don't really provide much from the 200 block to the 250 block. Looking at 1% crit damage, 1% boss damage, 20 int, 1% IED from like the main ones that I'm missing at this time. And with how events are going and how events seem to be working these days, you can get 250 characters, in fact, two 250 characters every summer and winter update, and in between you can probably get another one. So you're looking at 3 level 250 characters a year passively from just doing the events, not really training them, not really putting any funds or gears into them. This event I was able to get my 250 mech. I hyper burned it, and then I just threw XP tickets on it, and I got to 250. Now my Mercedes, there's 3 more mag pots left from this event, and I didn't even participate in the pyramid event, which gives, I believe, an additional 3. Just from XP tickets and mag pots left over after the mechanic got to 250 is getting me another 250 without having to play them or fund them or do anything. So I can sit here getting optimal Meso rates on my bishop while passively leveling up Legion. And as far as the grid goes, I'm at the point now, I'm already 9k Legion. The only thing that the grid really has to offer me is luck, which is secondary stat, and IED, which as a bishop and with where I currently stand, IED barely gives me anything. Right? So it's hardly worth my time and effort to really want to fund up another character because A, I really only enjoy playing my bishop. B, it's not really worth the time in my honest opinion. And C, farming is so easy now that like it really doesn't take too much effort at all. And especially with the lower amount of time I'm farming per day compared to what I was doing, I don't mind doing, you know, coming home from work Monday through Friday and then Saturday, Sunday if I'm not doing anything, just, you know, farming all day. It really isn't a big deal at all, really, these days for farming. And since I have all the fragments from my grind to 300, 80,000 still I have in the storage, I don't need fragments for this character really at all. So any that I get is just pure profit. And with the high price of fragments, it has kept me motivated and it has kept me wanting to grind a little bit more than I anticipated and a little bit more than I want to. But I'm approaching now to the point where my Eternals hat tops and bottoms is done. The shoulder I kind of want to wait on a bit because I believe there are other things coming out soon, like the X Lotus Heart, the Eternal Glove Cape Shoe, that are going to be more worthwhile trying to upgrade than what the shoulder can get me. And then as far as the pitch boss set goes, I'm almost at 6 set. My end goal is 7 set with X Lotus Heart. I don't plan on ever going for the earrings and belts. I explained that in my gear video. I think the Golux set is good enough to get to the next. But my Source of Suffering's almost done. That's the next goal, in case people are wondering. I have recorded some stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't really record the main pod or stream it. I did record the flaming. I did record, I think, the first scroll for ICOG and the bonus pot for sure. I remember recording that. So right now it's just a waiting game for more X scrolls to come into the market. Marvel Machine is next, well, I guess this week, this Friday, so we'll see how many exactly come into the game from that. Hoping to get, you know, 6 of them, and I might consider doing a couple of ICOGs with the 100% from the coin shop. We'll see. But yeah, I just thought I would explain that more in detail, why I'm farming on this character, since it gets asked a lot and people are wondering why I'm still grinding it and all that. It's just a really good time for an interactive world, especially when you're super situated like I am. And I know that like I'm in like that special bracket. I still can't really I can't really begin to like fathom just how privileged of a spot that I am in to be able to farm at this, like in this server, and get extremely good progress. Like just the booms on the Eternals alone would have set me back like a year or two of running either Chaos Kalos or normal Kalos in Heroic World. So it's quite good to be an interactive player once you get situated. The problem is getting situated, and this September update is coming soon. It has to be at this point the most anticipated update. It's one of those things where we just really don't know what GMS is getting. We have a clues as to what we're getting with the answer to Frenzy, what was said in the Inkwell post, but we don't truly know. And I think this is the first time in a while where it's been that way for GMS. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. I hope that makes sense to people and people can understand and all that. So yeah, thank you all. Much love. Catch you on the flip side. Oh!